Hi everyone, my name's Bree Neyland. This is part of a larger virtual learning project on street art and graffiti, but today we're going to focus on creating our own tags. And sometimes the button sticks a bit when I start recording, but it looks like it's sorted out. So this is your assignment. Your end result is going to be the creation of a tag. And so we're going to focus on line, form, and color. And we're going to use some iconography and symbolism to help us convey meaning, to help us talk about our identities. So specifically, we're going to focus on line, form, and color to achieve balance, harmony, and unity. And we're going to be talking a little bit about iconography, as well as what these vocabulary terms mean: tag, tagging, graffiti, street art, throw, and piece. So let's get started. Here's a summary of the steps. So print this out or have this open when you're working on this at home. And remember step 10 to take the quiz at the end. And here's our rubric. Again, we're focusing on line and color and space here. How do you fill the space? But I'm also going to be looking at craftsmanship, as always, how well you take care of your materials. Is your project neat and clean? And then composition. Are you creating balance and unity? Have you played around with line, color, and space enough to come up with how you're going to convey these ideas about identity and do so in a harmonious and balanced way? So the vocabulary for this that you want to keep in mind is tagging, throwing, piecing, and iconography. Iconography is talking about the visual images or the symbols that we're going to use to convey meaning, to get a sense of what it is an audience should get out of looking at your tag. Now, a tag is not only that iconographic piece that has your name in it, it's also the quality of the line, the kind of line that you use to draw the letters. And then when you throw the letters, you're blocking them out and you're filling them in with color, and piecing them means to add depth or perspective to them. And I'll show you what you mean. So look at this tag by Andy. It has a crown on it. That crown is playing with the idea of royalty. Now, obviously, Andy isn't a member of the royal family, or I suspect he's not, but he's got that crown there. So he's playing with this concept of what that symbol usually conveys, and he's twisting it to convey something about himself. So what is he the king of? Look at his lettering here. We've got some lovely patterning and some 3D bars to make it pop. This is a playful patterning with these colors. So I wouldn't take it seriously. It's not a formal presentation of kingship. So what could he be the king of? Look at Caden's example here. We have some nice icy colors. It looks like he might be into snow sports or something, because we've got snow dripping down. We've got a snow mountain, it looks like, and we've got icicles dripping off the letters. And look at this 3D effect. It's around the outside of the tag, not within the individual letters like we see in Andy's name. And then just take a quick look at Bunny's name up here. Lots of patterning. The bubble letters convey a certain feeling that's playful and lively. And she's surrounded her name with iconographic elements that convey meaning about her identity. So it's playful, it's fun, she likes animation of some sort. We get a sense of what her personality is. If you would like more examples, click on Web Urbanist's style of graffiti lettering just by clicking on this icon. That'll take you to a bunch of different styles, and those letters are what helps convey the emotions of the piece. And then if you'd like some more ideas on the technique, click on Miss Cloudy's PowerPoint slides. She has an alternative method for doing this if mine isn't quite working for you. So here's an example of the lettering, and this is a traditional bubble lettering style. There's an element of playfulness with it. Look at this eye up here and the face that's in there. Look at how we can impose some personality into our letters. This is the style I chose. It's based on calligraphy. So calligraphy is a formal style. There's an element of play to it that I'm going to incorporate because I don't want to convey formality. I want to convey fun. Look at the texture in here of the bubble lettering. Bubble letterings normally has a certain weight to it and can be interpreted as much less formal and fun, but adding texture changes the vibe of those letters. Here are another two examples that you might copy, and depending on the background, you can get a really different feel from them. So these worm letters with a black background might even be conveying a sense of creepiness. But if you put a pink background behind it, we would have something more fun. So here's the process I went through. I started tagging, meaning I was just drawing out the lines of the letters, and I was copying from that calligraphy style in the stencils that I just showed you on the previous slides. And I liked that style because of the ease, especially the ease of very stylized with big loops that resemble hearts. And I wanted joy or happiness to be part of the feeling I'm trying to convey. And so I think these hearts might help convey that. And it's kind of mirrored up here in the loop of the N and in the loop of the O. And then I blocked them out. So I started throwing the pieces down here. And then once I outlined them, you can really see that process take effect. So I added some color, and then I started piecing them, which means I was giving them the illusion of depth with those 3D bars, and I was trying to add more patterning and color gradations in there. But it didn't work the way I was hoping. So I went back to the drawing board and started playing with some letters. And this is what I'd like you to do as well. Go up to the Jamboard up here and then create 4 boxes, and you'll see all kinds of examples that I've already done on the Jamboard. In your first box, have a letter that stretches from the very top to the bottom and add some big curves. And then maybe try expressing that line in an unusual way. Add in some swirls and then maybe stack the letters together like the M and the C are stacked here. And then when you get into blocking them out, try adding more swirls or try leaning the letters from one direction to another and see how you go. Your goal with this is really to play with this and explore some of the options that you might be able to come up with. So I filled in the letters and then I added some iconographical elements to this. So the crow is not a crow, it's actually a raven. And I'm using for my tag Ravenstone, which is the name of our farm. We have 9 cats and a ton of other animals that we feed, and my husband's favorite creature is a raven. So that symbolizes curiosity, intelligence, and sociability, which is everything I want to express about our farm. And then this is a drawing of my cat Ira, who's also a black cat. He's all over the place. We have 9 of them. Cats seem like a perfect fit just because we have them, but then they also symbolize things like independence and also sociability. So I wanted to include both of those to help tell my story. Then we have the green prairie grasses of our farm, and our pond is well known for the amazing sunsets. So I tried to include those sunset colors there as well. But I wasn't quite happy with how the lettering turned out over here. So I used acrylic paints to give some more texture and gradations in color. And I think you get a better sense of play by using those extra colors. And you can see here on the O, you can see the ridge from the acrylic paint. So we're getting more texture as well. And that is how it turned out in the end. And I'm pretty happy with it. as you reflect on the process that you went through here, really think about what it took to play, to explore some of the ways the lettering would work or some of the iconographical elements. And then think about how you deployed tactics with line and texture to create an effect on an audience. Remember to take the quiz, and I look forward to seeing your examples. See you later, everybody.